Michael. I'm the creator of the Shoe Talk series for Gaziano Girling and part of the team here in Savile Row, our only store in the world for the brand. I'm originally from Liverpool, and my whole career has been surrounded by retail, clothing, and menswear fashion. I've ran various different types of businesses and brands from all different levels of the industry. And when I moved to London, I started to run some large flagship stores. And my journey has took me to Gaziano Girling to have, a role that's more linked to, I guess, the craft of a product as opposed to, just the face of a brand or, running a shop floor. As with a lot of people who find themselves in the clothing industry, I was one of many who kind of fell into it and have had a love affair with the industry for the last 20 years. Growing up, footwear was a big part of my life. Not necessarily shoes or craft, but I was always told the only way to get a girlfriend was to have clean sneakers. My sneakers were always clean. I didn't have many girlfriends, so I'm not sure I believe in the myth. But in general, it was something that I think a lot of people where I grew up seemed to understand was of very high importance on the social ladder. What was the question, sorry?
How would you describe your footwear?
Post not having any girlfriends when I was younger and having clean white sneakers, I think that kind of idea of dressing well and looking after your clothes and experimenting with product has always been something that has, I guess, led me to here. And again, my experience through the retail industry from different levels of fashion brands and tailoring and shoes has taken me to a point now where I really enjoy the transparency and the beauty of a craft and an industry as opposed to just buying a product off a shelf. The industry that we work in, certainly for Gaziano Girling, an industry that I've found myself in, I love how transparent we are, but I love the attention to detail and the no compromise approach to making a beautiful product. And for me, that's where the true value is. I know, for one thing, my colleagues would tell me I'm quite boring. I like to think of it as classic and relatively within my comfort zone. Out of 6 million combinations of what we call made-to-order shoes that you can make or combinations you can make, I work within an extraordinarily small spectrum of shoes. That's typically brown, darker brown, and maybe 2 leathers only. However, I do think the choice of shoe represents me as a person, and the beauty of our made-to-order program at Gaziano Girling is that you can create something that reflects you as a person. I thoroughly enjoy helping others kind of look for that product that reflects their character. I've not worked for a business before where I've had that amount of transparency or that amount of understanding and visibility of all of the processes that go into making a beautiful shoe. We are really trying to protect the craft and show that there is a new way of doing things, and it doesn't always have to be the old methods, but using the old methods, balancing them with modern techniques or modern aesthetics, I think is a perfect point to be in our industry. It honestly doesn't feel like work sometimes. Doing something you truly love means you don't have to work a day in your life, and that's exactly where I find myself at Gaziano Girling. Some of my most treasured memories or times working at Gaziano Girling so far has been when we've been able to really make an experience and a memory for our clients. There was a lot of time and an investment of time from the client, which I think we need to protect, and we need to deliver an exceptional level of service and also product. And fundamentally, when we do have really long conversations around fit, style, color, etc., we really take time to get to know our clients, then we certainly do deliver in terms of their experience when they get the end result and end product, and they keep coming back to us time and time again. I don't have in my collection a derby or a split-toe derby, so I've picked a model which is a 4-eyelet derby called the Hove. We do a variety of derbies with 2, 3, 4, and 5 eyelets. The 4-eyelet Hove for me is quite elegant, can be made up in a very casual way, but the 4-eyelet just seems to be a little bit more on the more sleeker side of the model. And I've chosen it in a mink suede, And I've also chosen it on our new sole, which is called the Brooklands. So I'm excited to see how that turns out and how it fits and feels. That looks incredible. I actually love the sole. Yeah, it's done everything I wanted it to do. Again, the 4-eyelet derby, split toe. It's casual, but also still quite sleek and elegant. There is a noise that we listen out for. It's almost like the Star Trek doors. Feels very good. Extremely comfortable, as expected. And I think when I look back at my collection the next 4 or 5 years, I think I'm going to end up with maybe 4 or 5 models, but in multiple colors. Probably a black, a brown leather, and a brown suede across each of those models, because they just look exceptionally cool, versatile, easy to wear with multiple outfits, and kind of fit my personality very well. But these, I have to say, like walking on sponge. So the Vibram sole is it's a microcellular rubber, extremely lightweight, extremely flexible, great for the elements. You know, it's a perfect kind of hybrid shoe for the modern world. I wanted this to go into my kind of very casual collection, but something to wear casual Fridays, weekends, going to the pub, wearing with jeans and a blazer, something quite casual, maybe some chunky knitwear. You know, on an occasion where I might be doing some walking, I think the Brooklands sole is going to give me all of the comfort needed. So in terms of how else you could customize this shoe, with this one specifically, of course, I could change the sole. I could make something slightly more formal by changing the suede to a leather. There's a beautiful example that we actually have from a client very recently who made the same shoe in a beautiful English grain. It looks super elegant. There's not a lot on this model you can change, but you can add some variety to the eyelets on the laces if you wanted to have something a little bit more casual, I guess going towards the end of the boots end of the spectrum. But I think sometimes with our shoes, sometimes less is more, in my personal opinion, and I think playing with the leather and the sole is enough on this model to change. My chosen drink is a coffee-infused Japanese whiskey, which I have to say tastes extremely nice, and certainly a just reward for a job well done. Nobody knows we're filming this at 8 AM in the morning. Cheers.